Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Chrisley knows best. Todd Chrisley brutally slams Patricia Altschul's Charleston comment. At the end of the day, she's old. Chrisley knows best. Alum Todd Chrisley fired back at Southern Charm star Patricia Altschul for throwing shade at his Charleston relocation plan. He turned ugly towards her after she tried to feud with him and Julie for their massive post-prison life failure. Savannah's parents are serving their prison experiences back-to-back with no break. From interviews to podcast episodes, Todd and Julie are everywhere, describing and explaining how things unfolded before and after their prison experiences. Their 2-year jail sentences didn't doom them at all, as they are happily enjoying their celebrity status. Savannah has managed to return all that they left behind in 2023. Todd made it clear that they are wrongly convicted and targeted. Chrisley knows best. Julie and Todd share insights into their current rougher life post-release. Julie and Todd Chrisley recently revealed that their lives have become rougher than they used to be since their time in prison. Though they are back at their Nashville home, they are certainly not living their best lives. Upon the relaunch of Chrisley Confessions 2.0, they shared their mutual struggle of adjusting to a typical environment. Todd said that he is in a more challenging phase after experiencing horrific prison conditions. Both emotionally and psychologically, he is drained to deal with fundamental everyday problems. His ability to overcome larger issues is far greater than those of the household or the outside world. The reality star acknowledged that prisoners fail to cope once they are brought out. It becomes crazy for them because most of the time, they remain detached from their family and others. Chrisley knows best. Todd tells off Patricia in savage response. Todd Chrisley's July 23 podcast episode had him in a fiery state, where he almost ripped into Patricia for her words about his and Julie's potential Charleston move. He didn't hold back on replying to the 84-year-old. As she resides in Virginia, she quipped, "There goes the neighborhood." The shocking Instagram story from Patricia was unexpected. But since it was posted, Todd has admitted that he is furious. He lashed out at her on the mic, calling her an old woman who had married solely for wealth, advising her that she was getting ready to die. Todd remembered her as a sophisticated lady with whom he had never had any past issues. However, Patricia spoke to Todd in a harsh manner unnecessarily. He had always respected her, but now he has a different image of her. The growing up Chrisley alum said that nobody, including Patricia, can stop them from going to Charleston. "Patricia should know that we are born and raised in South Carolina," he added. Todd continued that Patricia is almost the same age as his mother, and he had come to know that she had recently transferred ownership of her assets to her son. Anyway, he decided to move to Charleston so that he could venture into a hotel business with Julie. In a jaw-dropping turn of events that has reality TV fans buzzing from coast to coast, Chrisley knows best star Todd Chrisley has reignited his feud with Southern Charm matriarch Patricia Altschul, and this time, he didn't hold back. During a recent prison phone call that Savannah Chrisley shared on her family's podcast Unlocked, Todd let loose on Patricia after hearing a resurfaced clip of her throwing shade at the Chrisleys' recent legal troubles. What started as a casual dig turned into a full-blown takedown from the formerly flamboyant, always opinionated Todd. "Let me tell you something," Todd growled into the phone, his southern accent sharper than ever. "At the end of the day, she's old. Real old. And I don't mean just in years. I mean in mindset, in relevance, and frankly, in class." Fans were stunned by the vicious jab, which came in response to Patricia's remarks on a Charleston radio show earlier this month. When asked whether she would ever invite Todd and Julie to one of her infamous cocktail soirees once they were released, she laughed and said, "Honey, we don't serve orange jumpsuits at my parties." The jab was classic Patricia, snarky, highbrow, and delivered with a martini in hand. But for Todd, who has been serving time in federal prison camp Pensacola, It was the final straw. She walks around Charleston thinking she's the queen of the South when really, she's just sitting on an old velvet couch with her dog and a bottle of gin, Todd continued. You want to talk about class? Class is owning your mistakes, not mocking
Savannah,
someone for paying. Who co-hosted the podcast episode alongside her younger brother Grayson, looked visibly stunned as her father ranted. Dad, wow, she muttered, half laughing, but clearly trying to reel him in. That's Patricia Altschul you're talking about. I know who I'm talking about, Todd fired back. I'm talking about a woman who made her millions by marrying money and now looks down on folks like she never made a mistake in her life. Newsflash, Pat, your money doesn't make you morally superior. You're just better at hiding your scandals behind lace curtains and silver serving trays. Todd then accused Patricia of being a master of illusion, suggesting her prim and proper persona is a front for someone far less admirable. People think I'm fake, honey. Patricia's been acting like a dowager duchess for so long, she forgot what real life looks like. At least when I fell publicly. I didn't hide behind a wrought iron gate and a peacock fan. While it's not uncommon for reality stars to take playful jabs at each other, insiders say this feud has taken a more personal tone, and it might stem from years of behind-the-scenes tension between the Bravo and USA Network worlds. There's always been a sort of rivalry between Charleston and Nashville in the reality TV space, said a production insider. Todd's family was dominating USA ratings for years, and Patricia always seemed to think their brand of flashy southernness was vulgar. She called them nouveau riche once in a production meeting, and Todd never forgot that. Indeed, Todd brought up the term during his rant. She called us nouveau riche? Girl, you were nouveau married. Let's not pretend marrying someone for a townhouse in Charleston is the same as building a brand with your family. But Todd didn't stop there. He doubled down, calling Patricia delusional and suggesting she's jealous of the Chrisley family's fame, especially given the fact that Chrisley Knows Best had higher ratings than Southern Charm for several seasons before its hiatus. She had her little drawing room with her butlers and her pearls, but we had real people watching us, rooting for us. That's something she'll never understand because she doesn't live in reality. She lives in a museum of her own making. While Todd's comments were explosive, some fans applauded him for defending his family against Patricia's shade. Others, however, felt he crossed a line. This is why people say Todd can't take a joke. One commenter wrote on X, formerly Twitter. Patricia made a snide comment, but calling her old and dragging her whole life? That's low even for him. Another user chimed in. Say what you want about Patricia, but she never went to federal prison. Todd should focus on making amends, not starting feuds. Still, Savannah remained loyal to her father, later taking to Instagram with a post that subtly sided with his stance. Some people throw stones from glass mansions. She captioned a photo of her and Todd from happier times. Class isn't about cocktails and cashmere. It's about character. Proud of my dad for always speaking his truth. As for Patricia Altschul, she has yet to officially respond. However, in classic Patricia fashion, she posted a cryptic Instagram story the morning after Todd's rant made headlines. A picture of her sipping a martini with the caption, "Still unbothered. Still fabulous." Bravo fans immediately speculated it was a direct response to Todd's verbal beatdown, with many praising her for keeping it classy in the face of controversy. She doesn't need to clap back, one fan wrote. She already won. Meanwhile, insiders close to Southern Charm say Patricia is not interested in feuding with felons and that she finds Todd's behavior beneath her. But for Todd Chrisley, the battle may be far from over. I've made peace with a lot of things while being behind these walls, he said at the end of the podcast. But I won't sit quietly while someone pretends their brand of Southern is better than mine. We may be loud, we may be flawed, but we're real. And frankly, that's more than I can say of the Altschul antiques. One thing's for sure, whether you're Team Todd or Team Patricia, this Southern standoff is hotter than a Charleston summer. And it doesn't look like it's cooling down anytime soon.